Hi, I'm Rick Rheins, Senior Rabbi at Temple Sinai in Denver, Colorado. This week's Torah portion is Ki Teitzei from chapters 21 through 25 of the book of Deuteronomy. And there are so many mitzvot in this week's Torah portion, 74 altogether. 27 of them are what they call the positive ones, i.e., do this. And 47 of them are the negative, don't do that. 74 altogether. And I want to focus on just one that we find in chapter 22, and it deals with the Kansipur. Now, for most of the mitzvot, it just simply says, do this and don't do that. But with the Kansipur, the bird's nest, that if you come upon a bird's nest, you shall not take both the mother bird and its eggs together, but you should shoo away the mother bird so that it says, Lema'an yitavlach. So it'll be good for you, and that your days will go long, that you'll live a long, good life if you shoo away the mother bird and only take the eggs. So for most mitzvot, there's not a leman, um, a reward that is listed. It simply says do it. But for this one, the Kansipur, it says leman, so that you will live long and live well through all of your days. And it says it one other place too in the Torah, and that is in chapter 5 of the book of Deuteronomy, when it says, "Kabed et avicha ve'et imecha," you shall honor your father and mother. Specifically, honor your father and mother. It's in the Ten Commandments, is the fifth commandment. And it says, if you do this, leman yitavlach v'harachta it will be good for you if you do this, and you will live a long life. You'll live a long life and have a good life. So again, what is it about these two mitzvot? And one day in the Talmud, it's in Kiddushim, there's a famous story of what happens if you obey these commandments and the reward doesn't come to fruition. The famous story, the infamous story, is of Elisha ben Abuya. And Elisha ben Abuya sometimes is referred to in the Talmud as Acher, or as the other, because he became an apostate. And his story is detailed actually in Milton Steinberg's classic, As a Driven Leaf. If you haven't read it, do so. It's a fabulous book based on that Talmud passage and the Midrashim that talks about Elisha ben Abuya. Now, Elisha ben Abuya is one of the great rabbis in the 2nd century of the Common Era. And one day he noticed a father instruct his son to go up and take the eggs of this bird's nest, shoo away the mother bird, and bring the eggs down to me. So the little boy did so, obeying his father, kabedet avicha, that you shall obey your father, and so you should have the reward simply by saying, yes, Dad, and going up and taking those eggs. So it should be that he would be rewarded with a long and good life. So he gets up there and he takes the eggs, shoos away the mother bird, again, obeying and fulfilling yet another mitzvah. That is to take the eggs, but not the mother bird, shoo her away. And if you do so, leman, it will be yitavlach. It'll be good for you. V'harachta yamim, and you'll live long. But unfortunately, Elisha ben Abuya, to his shock and horror, saw that little boy. Once he took the eggs, he lost his balance and he fell to his death. So he said, wait a minute. The Torah literally said, if you honor your mother and your father, you'll live long and well. And if you chase away the mother bird and take only the eggs, you'll live long and well. But it looks like there's no justice here. It's a direct contradiction to the Torah. So the Talmud has this passage, and the Midrashim, the ancient rabbinic literature and commentary, wrestled with this because it wants us to consider also that there is doubt in this world, and there's not always a cause and effect, that there are things that go beyond our understanding. Now, Elisha ben Abuya saw it, he saw life as all black and white, all binary, that this is good and that is bad, and if there's anything that disrupts my easy and simple pattern of existence, then I'm throwing it all to the wind. And he did. He became an apostate. He gave up his faith. He lost his faith because it didn't measure up to his expectations, that everything had to be always perfect. So that's why they call him Acher, the other, the one who gave up faith. The challenge for us is, because we're only a couple of weeks now away from the high holidays, the challenge for us is not to deny that there's doubt, not to deny that there's injustice, not to deny that there's unfairness in this world, because there most certainly is. And there most certainly are not simple answers. We just can't have things explained in a way that justify all the hurt and the pain and the suffering in this world. We just can't say, well, that's the way God wanted it. Rather, there is injustice. And so what is it then that Acher should have done, as a good rabbi should have done? And as we learn from this, why did the Talmud include this in its sacred pages? It included it to remind us that it's up to us. Once we see injustice, once we see unfairness, once we see things that are not right, to repair it, to fix it, to heal whatever we can, not to justify it, not to just throw your hands up and say, that's the way God planned it, but rather to say, this world needs my participation, needs me to be outraged sometimes, me to be patient and sensitive and healing all the time, to look at this world and to say, it's not perfect. No, it's not. But God has given me the wherewithal to notice what's going on and to make a positive difference in my own life and in the lives of those people around me as well. Elisha ben Abuya, towards the very end of his life, understood, and he came around a little bit. But the Talmud, our ancestors, wanted to make sure that we learn that doubt is not a sin. Being outraged at injustice is certainly not a sin. Giving up and just throwing your hands up like a cynic and saying, I make no reason and justification for the way things are, and so I'm quitting. I'm dropping out. I'm cynically backing away and thinking only about myself. Talmud says that's not it. That makes you an acher. That makes you an other. God has given us these opportunities every day, but especially at the high holidays, to think about what I can do in my world to make a positive difference. We each can. You can. Think about your life. Think about those around you. How through your kindness and your patience and your sweetness and your generosity and your encouragement can make this world better. We need you. We need you to see the goodness in this world. Lema'an yitavlach. So it'll be good for you and for all of your loved ones and for this world. Shabbat shalom.